I've struggled this week as I've thought about how to keep talking about the things that I do, how to keep sharing the information that I share in the context of everything that's going on around us in the United States. Maybe you've done the same. After all, with everything, all the big important things that are going on around us, what we do might seem insignificant or maybe irrelevant in the context of the time that we're in right now. But as I continue to think about that and think about the ego versus empathy keynote that I do, some of you have seen it. It's called Ego versus Empathy, How the Stories You Tell Are Making You a Commodity. What in the world does that have to do with inequality and race relations in the United States? Well, as it turns out, it has everything to do with how we relate to other people. The idea that if we approach a subject, if we approach a conversation from a point of ego, meaning what we think matters, what we think is important, even if it's what we think other people think. When we start out from a point of ego, we start out in direct conflict with the other person's brain. But if we start out with a search for and finding empathy for the position of our audience or for the position of the other person, then we start out in alignment with their brain. And so the way that I can relate what I do when I talk about ego versus empathy to everything that's going on in the United States right now, my encouragement to everyone is to start from a point of empathy. Start from a point of listening and understanding, especially for those of us who have never experienced the injustices, have never experienced the fear that many of our fellow citizens, many of our fellow human beings have felt, have experienced, and now much of the country is protesting against. Start from a point of empathy. Start by listening. Start by trying to truly understand where our fellow citizens, our fellow human beings are actually coming from. That way we can start from a point of alignment and we can find a way to go forward together.